My mother only got $1,000 and a few other items she'd been claiming were rightfully hers since the divorce. Beyond that, I got the rest of it. And my girlfriend now lives with me in the house my father passed down to me. My sister pretty much went from finishing 2 years of community college to living off her boyfriend and only working part-time online for several years. And during that time, she got pregnant but suffered a traumatic miscarriage. I wasn't aware until after the funeral because we were practically no contact and no one else told me. When lockdown hit, her boyfriend's job started downsizing little by little, and eventually he was only able to stay on part-time, which hampered hers and his finances to the point he was finally telling her she needed to look for better employment as well, since he was trying to find a second job. And then she got pregnant. She claims her and her boyfriend were careful, but they call it her. And when I answered, I was unpleasantly greeted by both my mother and my sister. They both walked right in without even asking and made themselves comfortable in my living room. My girlfriend and I shared a look of confusion, and I asked why'd they come by. My sister was giggling, looking all over, opening doors, seemingly giving herself a tour of my home. My mother had just plopped herself on my sofa and snapped her fingers while demanding a cold bottled water. My girlfriend got the water for her, and I asked what they were here for. My sister seemed all giddy and just ignored me to continue snooping around my home. And before long, I heard her yell from down the hall, "Mommy, it's perfect." Yes, she still calls her mommy. My mother finally spoke up and said, "Well, I think it's time you did your brotherly duty." To which I was like, what? My mother then proceeded to say, "Now that your father has passed, this house should have gone to me since I was his only spouse, but my mother finally spoke up and said, "Well, I think it's time you did your brotherly duty." To which I was like, what? My mother then proceeded to say, "Now that your father has passed, this house should have gone to me since I was his only spouse, but you can still fix this. You make plenty of money, and you could just buy a new house. Your sister needs this one so much more, since she's the one with the baby on the way. But if you're determined on staying, you could just keep to one room and cover all of the bills until you decide to move out." My girlfriend and I read enough Reddit to know exactly where this is going and how it would play out if I let it go on. So I guess you could say we were mentally prepared. I took a deep breath and stated out loud, "That is not effing happening. You do not order me around, especially not in my own house. Don't you dare talk to me like that." And then I took a step back and did something that my mother considers to be unforgivable to this day. Here's what my mother started snapping her fingers at me like she used to and started loudly stating, "Stop! I am your mother! You will do as I say because I brought you into this world and I'm the one in charge here. And as far as you're concerned, I am God. That means when I say jump, you say how high. This house is rightfully mine and your sister will live here. Consider this your formal eviction. But since I'm gracious, I'll give you 2 weeks to pack up your bags and transfer the deed to me." In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this can't be real. But then I just grabbed my cell phone and started dialing. My mother quickly stood up and yelled, "What are you doing?" I retorted, "I'm gonna do what I should have done as soon as this started. I'm calling the cops to get you out of my house." She started swiping at me and managed to knock my phone out of my hands. Then she proceeded to try and stomp on it, but I was quick enough to snatch it up before she could. Then she proceeded to try and stomp on it, but I was quick enough to snatch it up before she could. "That is it. If you don't leave, I will force you out myself." My mother proceeded to slap me across the face, and I returned the favor twice as hard, backhanded. So much so I ended up knocking her back down onto the couch. She held her hand over her reddening and smeared makeup face in total shock and then yelled, "How dare you!" I went back to dialing on my phone and said that if she didn't leave, I would have police come and remove her by force. My sister came barreling in between us, holding her arms out and saying that I should just do the right thing for once in my life and be a good big brother. I snapped and said, "Oh really? I'm a bad sibling? The last I checked, I was the one who had to work for a living since I was a teenager. I had to do all the chores in the house where you just sat on your butt playing video games or talking your butt playing video games or talking with your friends all day. And you used to steal my hard-earned money to go out shopping after you spent all of your allowance. You are a complete mooch and a thief. I don't owe you squat. Now both of you get out of here before I decide to dial this last number. My sister started to tear up crying like a baby and said, "Mommy, please make him stop." My mother then began hugging her, kissing her cheeks while giving me a death glare. Then she seemed to think she'd gotten smart and said, "You know, if you do call the police, I could just tell them that you hit me. And who knows, I could maybe say to everyone that you wanted to do a lot worse to a poor pregnant girl in need. I don't think that would be a very good thing for your..." I cut her off with a raised hand and said, "Just stop." I said the one single thing I knew would end this once and for all. The one thing she was truly afraid of. I told She starts saying all sorts of stuff, accusing him of being an R-word and threatening to have him hung, drawn, and quartered. The poor security guard looks like he wants to curl up and die. I stepped in and I told to Karen what actually happened, and the security guard probably saved Karen's daughter. Karen then rounds on me, I'm South Asian, and starts claiming that I'm in league with the security guard and accuses me of being a P-word too. The receptionist comes out, a Filipina, and Karen screams that she wants to speak to someone in charge. She yells that she wants me and the security guard off the property immediately as we are P-words, eyeing her daughter. At this point, I lost my temper and I called the police. Karen kept screaming at us and told me, "Come on, call the police!" The police eventually show up and the first thing they do is look at the CCTV footage where it is totally clear that the security guard saved Karen's daughter's life. I gave a statement to the police about all the awful things Karen was screaming about me and the security guard. Through the CCTV footage, they can see Karen yelling, but they can't hear the words. Once Karen saw the footage, she got very quiet and then denied that she ever said any of those things. Thankfully, the receptionist took a recording halfway through Karen's rant, and you can clearly hear all of the awful things she was saying. Then, Karen totally changed her tune and started crying, saying that seeing her daughter in danger, she lost her mind and started apologizing. I told the security guard that he would be well within his rights to file a complaint. I certainly told Karen that I told the police in my statement that I want to file a complaint against her for defamation and anything else the police come up with. She cried harder, and the police officer encouraged me to settle the matter, and the security guard caved and dropped the matter. I said that I would think about it. This all happened about a week ago. A day or so after the incident, I went to the police and filed a complaint for defamation and harassment. I guess Karen got a notification about it because she came to my apartment.
My entitled parents and my spoiled, rotten brother got thrown out of a child's birthday party because they asked the stupidest thing imaginable. My little brother is spoiled rotten, and he does not handle going to other birthday parties that are not about him. And while myself as well as my family have put up with this kind of behavior, it does not go well for people outside the family. This happened when my brother was 6 or 7 years old. A neighborhood boy down the street was having a birthday party, and my brother got invited because they are sort of friends. But if I'm being completely honest, he probably only got invited because they knew my parents would bring a gift. And they did. I don't remember what it was though, nor do I really care. My parents dragged me along to this party, even though I would have rather stay home and played video games instead. I was bored and sitting down almost the entire time, so I got to witness an absolute train wreck of a situation. It started when my brother was caught picking up gifts off the table and shaking them. The mother of the birthday boy told him to stop, and my parents tried to defend my brother and say he was harmless. But this particular lady knew exactly what my brother really was like, and she had my parents move him away from the presence. Off to the side, there were some kids trying to play some games, but my brother interfered with just about every game, trying to make himself the center of attention. With each game they chose to play, the birthday boy got to pick first because it was his birthday, and because of that, my brother freaked out because he didn't get to go first. And my parents even asked the birthday boy's mother if my spoiled rotten brother could have the first picks on some of the games they were playing. The lady not only refused, but told my parents to get my brother under control or we'd be asked to leave. And it was at that point that the cake came out. The mother lit the candles for the birthday boy, and the adult only got as far as singing the birthday boy's name in the song before my brother burst into a tantrum at the table. He grabbed the side of the table and started trying to violently shake it. My parents had to hold my brother back for a moment. And then I saw my mom go up and talk to the mother of the birthday boy, again about something regarding her son. And the poor lady looked positively disgusted. And I would later learn that my mother asked this lady to let my spoiled younger brother blow out the candles first, and then they could just redo it. And then it was at that moment that my spoiled, rotten little brother did something so unbelievable that it got my little brother, as well as my parents and myself, kicked out of that birthday party and embarrassed for life.